Hi, my name is Jeff Seitz and welcome to Renewing Democracy. I've got here some notes on some stories from the headlines, and we'll go through some and I'll get your opinion, of course, and see how things go. Okay? So the first up, the $1.8 billion priority disconnect. This is from the $1.8 billion slush fund for the January 6 people that they say are politically persecuted. It's called the 1.776 billion taxpayer financed anti-weaponization fund. They've been trying to attach it as a massive budget reconciliation push, which means they're just going to take it from somewhere else. So to compensate people who are victims of political prosecution. Now, I remember that day walking through the lunchroom at work, hearing this noise behind me on the TVs. And I stopped, turned around, and I was in complete shock as to what I saw on that day. I saw Americans attacking the seat of government, the Capitol building. And what did I see? Trump flags. There weren't any other flags there. Well, there was an American flag, but there were no other flags there. There wasn't a Biden flag. There wasn't an Obama flag. There were Trump flags. And what I found kind of funny was you see people crawling up the wall. But, we heard everything about the wall and the border. And I knew that human spirit, a wall would not stop it. And you saw that on the Capitol of people climbing a wall. So it's just ridiculous to think that we're going to try and give money to people that were in an illegal process of attacking our nation's capital, with all of our lawmakers inside, with the Vice President of the United States inside. Attack. And it's just disgusting that we can think of it. Instead of taking that money, which I personally would give to the officers that were injured that day, who had PTSD, that ended up taking their lives, I would give that to their families. But we have a couple of officers, Harry Dunn and Daniel Hodges, that are taking the administration to federal court to stop all this, which I totally agree with. Me being a former U.S. Army military policeman and a DOD police officer down in Fort Benning, Georgia, I support the men in blue. My nephew is a police officer, so I support law enforcement. But the GOP says they support law and order, but they sure in the hell don't look like it. You see things like this that are illegal. Congress is the only body that can release those funds because Congress has the purse strings. It's not a king or a dictator, Mr. Trump, that just says, hey, I'm going to give myself $1.7 billion. Or if we round up, 1.8. This is just beyond corruption. And I heard a couple of big commentators say, well, I didn't think the level of corruption would go this far. Level of corruption, which means you knew he was corrupt when you voted for him. And now we see this. His entire family is profiting off of the presidency. And it just boggles the mind that anybody can still support this man. So that's just the first one. The Iran deal victory lap, as I put it. This brings us to, my second disconnect of the week, which is the big lie, as Trump put it. Big lie that he's been saying is coming. The Iran Iran war is coming to an end through negotiations with Iran, but then Iran comes out and says, there is no negotiations currently. So the man is lying to us. He should have never started it in the first place. If he's worried about the uranium, supposedly in all the nuclear facilities that Iran had, supposedly on like day 3, Trump says that he annihilated all of their facilities. So if he's so worried about them having nuclear capabilities, but he destroyed them all, what is the disconnect here? He's lying to you. He's lying to the American people. The American president is lying to us. And he does it all the time. He just deflects. He is mad hungry for trying to be a king and take over countries. You saw that with Venezuela. Now you see it with Iran. And I bet you anything, in the near future, you're going to see Cuba. Now, a lot of Cuban Americans down in Florida will probably cheer this. And that's fine. But we've never, that I can remember, and I may be wrong on this, been the aggressor of going after countries like this. Yeah, we've gone into Panama. We've gone into Grenada way back when to, kind of liberate students there in Grenada under the Reagan administration. But we've always been attacked first before we became the aggressor. 9/11, they attacked us. And by the way, Mr. Trump, NATO came to our aid in that time of need. Even though we may not have needed them, they still came to our need to protect us, to help us get through this difficult time after the terrorist attacks. So it's not enough that he wants to be the aggressor. He enjoys being the aggressor. And it's just destroying America's credibility in the world. But it's playing into Xi's and Putin's wheelhouse. That's what they want him to do. But he doesn't think about that. He thinks he's the great negotiator. And I don't see it. So we see that the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, supposedly. But again, if we took out all their defense systems and everything, why is it still closed? Answer me that, Mr. Trump. But you can't, because we haven't done it all. So instead of having decent gas prices like we had before, no, it wasn't Trump's doing. It wasn't Biden's doing. It was the oil companies pumping, and making oil and gas a little bit cheaper. And with the help of OPEC, I believe. Okay? And there's somebody out there in the social media world, Mr. Global, that will probably correct me, which I'm fine with because the guy's an expert. So instead, we have higher gas prices, higher food. And I'm in warehousing, in logistics. So I know if diesel prices go up, the trucking companies will add a surcharge for their fuel charge to their shipments, which in turn makes the shipments more expensive, which in turn causes whoever bought that shipment and goods to raise their prices that pass on to who? Me and you. So now we have higher prices for everything, including gas. But hey, everything's hunky-dory in the Trump world, or in the world of the Bezos and Elon Musk and all them. And it bothers me. So, after working for 30 years of my life in warehousing, I've talked to, people at work, I've talked to other people around the state, and everybody's worried. Everybody's worried that their dollar is not going as far as it used to. And I agree with them, because everything is getting more and more expensive. He used to rail against Biden after COVID hit about the tick up in inflation, and it went up. But Biden also worked to lower that after the supply chain got unclogged, because we just can't ship stuff and then all of a sudden everything closes, and that backs up ships coming from China or wherever. It backs up shipping at the docks, which I've seen. And everything started to come down as the supply chain cleared. But now that we have Mr. Trump in office, less than a year, well, I shouldn't say less than a year, a little bit over a year and a half, we'll call it. Everything's starting to tick back up. We see MAGA world falling apart. We see senators that used to be supporters of Trump being targeted by Trump now. And a couple of them have lost. I can't remember his name. Thomas Massey, I think his name is, from Kentucky, just lost his primary. And everybody was so happy about it. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene, split town. We have Lauren Boebert, is probably going to be the next person on the target. And there's probably many, many more that are going to fall by the wayside. His polls are way down. And, but, the 30% of the MAGA faithful are out there and they don't really care. And I hate to put it to you guys, the 30% is more towards the bottom of the barrel than the Elon Musks. And who do you think it's going to hurt more? It's going to hurt you more. I hate to tell you that, but the reality is he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about farmers, just like Jim Jordan in my district that I tried to run against. He doesn't care about farmers. He votes down agriculture bills all the time. But yet farmers will vote for the GOP, which is beyond me. Why? So we want the right to repair our equipment, computers or whatever. And you can't do that with John Deere tractors. And the GOP doesn't really care about that, but us Democrats do. We bought it. We should be able to have the right to repair it without wasting $100 an hour for a John Deere rep to come out and go, yep, it's broke. And then have to get the part, have to get it reprogrammed. Instead, the farmer could just do it himself and be up and running in a lot less time. But heaven forbid if it doesn't get done by an authorized tech. So, I mean, it's getting out of control, people. Trump is out of control. So this is what renewing democracy is. It's about bringing you facts, hopefully all the facts, all the correct facts. I could be wrong, but it's coming from me, a nobody, somebody that has tried to run for office, failed. That's fine. The people chose. But if you feel like your tax dollars are being wasted or being given away by this administration, come follow me. Let's discuss it. Let's don't yell at each other. Let's don't call each other names. Let's just talk about it. Let's get into the comments and be nice to each other like we used to be. And that way, we can take back America. We, the people. So if you like what you're seeing, give me a like, give me a follow. Hit that little button down on the bottom to get notifications when I upload new videos to YouTube. And hopefully we'll see you on the next episode. So this is Jeff. Catch you later.